Hello and welcome to my podcast, Up Your Total Glow, your podcast for your body, mind, and soul to support, guide, and empower you to uncover your most glowing, healthiest, and feel good version of you. I am super excited that you're here because if you ask me, there's nothing that looks and feels better. In today's episode, I'm speaking with the absolutely brilliant, wonderful, and amazing Divine Purpose business coach, Bill Heinrich. 30 years ago, Bill walked away from his life because he was so miserable. He was committed to find the source of his misery and create a new life. And today, his journey continues as he expands his consciousness. In this very beautiful interview that touched me deeply because Bill is simply such an amazing, incredibly wonderful and beautiful human being and coach. He spoke about his journey from misery, despite being surrounded by material success with everything in place by normal standards, towards a life of deep fulfillment, purpose, and joy, and energetic alignment and energetic success. And I hope that you can feel his absolutely incredible energy throughout this beautiful interview. And if you want to discover true success, then please, this is a must listen for you. Enjoy. Hello, Bill. I am so excited to have you here today with me. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you very much for having me on your podcast, Ruth. I really appreciate it.
Okay, let's dive right into it. I would love to learn a little bit more about you. So could you introduce yourself to my audience?
Yeah. My name is Bill Heinrich, and my company is called True Life Purpose Now. My expertise is showing people how to live their life purpose. I walked away from my life 30 years ago because I was so miserable, and to find the source of my misery. And that path takes me here today. But in the course of it, I have cracked the code. And for the last 15 years, I've been teaching people how to live their life purpose with a 100% money back guarantee on success.
Wow. That sounds amazing. It sounds perfect to me. So how do we do this? How do we find our purpose? Or maybe let's backtrack a little bit. How did you know that you were so miserable? And how did you have the courage to stop being miserable? Because I feel, or I'm observing, that you are not alone feeling miserable, being miserable. And it takes courage to step out of the misery. And it takes also courage to really understand or see or acknowledge that we truly are not feeling so great.
Well, having been working with people from around the world for the last 15 years and my experience, the fact of the matter is no one makes it. Let me rephrase that. The key for someone to change their life is unwillingness. And it's unwillingness to live a certain way any longer. And I couldn't take it anymore. And I, one evening, got into reaction and went like to this kind of, it was almost rage, although I wasn't acting out on it. I was starting to, and this voice came in my head and said, Bill, this is not you. And I don't know what happened in that moment, but I froze. And I went upstairs. I was in a relationship, and I went upstairs to the bedroom and just sat on the bed. And it was like, whoa. And I don't know, Ruth, what caused it, but I said, I have got to go find out why I'm so miserable.
Mm.
And I walked downstairs and looked at the woman I was in a relationship with and said, I'm so effing miserable. I've got to go find out why. And I walked out the door.
Wow.
Now, of course, she thought I was blaming her.
Mm.
However, that was not the case. I didn't say that, but this is the way this is part of the dysfunction that we live in physical form on earth, is thinking, uh taking all this stuff on. And I just walked out the door. I had no idea what was going to happen. But I literally made a commitment with God. It's like, I'm going to go wherever you want me to go. And one thing I know for certain, it can't be as bad as the way I've been living. And off I went, and found, immediately started dissecting myself. I mean, I took about 6 months. That was in December. Yeah. So I took about 6 months, about 90 days into it. I loaded up my car. I was living up at Lake Tahoe. Put some stuff in my car and took off. And I went and lived on beaches in Mexico for 90 days.
Wow.
And just to meditate and to get clear and to see what I could figure out. I mean, I was lost because there was nothing to me. The analogy is, I was covered with sticky notes from my parents, from the preacher, from the priest, from the teachers. Do this, do that, do that. This is the way you live. And it never made sense to me. In fact, I just thought I was crazy, literally, and made a choice at a very young age to just have fun and the hell with everything else, which is what I did through school. I'm actually very smart, but my grades didn't reflect it, nor the path I followed through school.
Mm.
And then, I don't know, I got lucky and bought my own business at a young age, made a lot of money, sold the business, lost the money, made more money. It was just nuts. It was nuts. And so it was 30 years ago, and I was actually, about 30 years ago, when I walked away and just started searching. And then I started tripping across universal resources. People showed up, gave me stuff. I started looking at it. And then somebody gave me a book about numerology. And when I got into that and I read about my numerology, it described me to a T.
Mm.
And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, that's me. So the good news is I'm not crazy. And now I've got something to work with. So it's really easy in one respect to live your life purpose, because your life purpose is part of your life right now. However, anything that doesn't feel good is blocking you from your purpose.
Mm.
It's all an energetic value. It's all a value of the heart. The only way you can find your way to your purpose is through energy. That's it.
Mm.
We live in two dimensions: a physical dimension that we call life, and we live in a non-physical dimension. So I love the name of your show, Up Your Total Glow. It's all about the glow is the energy. And when we when we look at our lives, and if I ask you, Ruth, go to that moment, in one of those really special moments in your life, and you reflect on it, you're going to go to how you felt.
Mm.
You aren't going to go to what you were thinking.
Mm.
It's all an energetic value. So what happens is, I mean, I've studied this, researched it. and have wisdom on it that's pretty amazing. You know, we're born and we're just taught to survive. That's it.
Yeah.
We're born, you know, what I like to say is we're born perfectly. They slap our ass and everything goes downhill from there. You know, it's just don't do this, don't do that, work hard, do this. You got to get good grades. You have to have this. And it's all about social policing and how you're going to appear in the physical to other people's judgments.
Mm.
Not living your own life. What you're actually doing is abandoning yourself, your true self, for the satisfaction of those around you, is what people do. You know, when you look at, if you have any questions, ask them, because I can just keep going. Okay, so I just want
Okay, I might just intersect here and just track back a little bit. So if I understand you correctly, then the more we come back to who we authentically truly are, the more we are able to live our purpose and the happier we are. And it sounds and it sounds like you, from the outside, pretty much had everything that you had been told would make you happy, and that pretty much we are all being told we need to do in life and that will make us happy, which is, you know, have an amazing job or have your own business, make lots of money, have a relationship, being married. I don't know, all these things. And it sounds like you had all of this. Nevertheless, you were really miserable, like you said. And I'm still blown away by the courage that you had. And I know, I can relate to this, what you said. You said, you know, your pain point was so high, there was pretty much nothing else that you could do other than, you know, walk out. Still, and I can relate to this because I've got, unfortunately, many clients only come to me when their physical pain is so big that they see no way out. And it would have been so much easier to come to me beforehand. So I completely know what you mean. Yet still, it blows my mind. And I think it's so courageous how you did it. Because when I look around me, I can also see that it's still not that easy, even if the pain threshold is so high, that sometimes, you know, it's easier to stay in pain and to keep surviving and maybe not choose the thriving. So I really have high respect for you. And I think it's absolutely beautiful that you decided for, you know, there's more out there for me and I'm gonna go for that. And now you're inspiring others with that. So I really want to say that. I think it's amazing.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's I think what's amazing is where I'm at now. Like I never had the intention to be here. You know, you know, they say when you're up your ass in alligators, it's hard to remember you just wanted to drain the swamp, right? And and you know, you've got to get through that swamp piece. And what I found out was everybody's living life with a blindfold on, making decisions based on who they aren't. And their whole focus is about getting to death safely.
Yeah. That is a very strong point. And I have to say, I feel I'm all the time still figuring out who I truly am. And you mentioned something before. I mean, I know that I'm in an essence love, but there are so many other layers on top of me that I'm still trying to unravel and still trying to figure out. And it's beautiful. And sometimes it's ugly and sometimes it's terrifying. And then I feel like, wow, another layer came off. Amazing, I got this. And then I see, oh, there are a million other layers. I hope this makes sense. But you said before, you know, when you walked out and your partner at that time misunderstood and thought it was her fault or she had done something wrong. Again, I can so relate to some of my own situations just when I speak to my husband and or he speaks to me and he says something and I don't really quite hear the words he really said, but I hear, for example, oh, you know, I did that wrong, or I'm not good enough, or just examples.
Right.
Which is not what he said at all, but that's what I'm hearing. So I'm then reacting to this. So I just think this is such a powerful message that you are bringing across. Maybe can you help us or others to find the same or to get onto the same journey that you are on? I mean, you're describing that you're in this amazing place right now. So how can we transform our lives to find our authentic selves? That's a big question, but I don't know, maybe you've got some insights.
Well, I'll go through a few of the basics. Okay.
Right.
I mean, if somebody really wants to live authentically and they're 100% committed to it, come work with me. I'll have you there so fast it'll blow your mind,
I have
because
no doubt.
I'll give you the information that you need that creates the awareness that allows you to make more powerful choices, because it's transformation at the speed of choice. You see, everyone is different. We're all different. We all have different stories. We come from different places. And what's everything going on in the reality of your physical world isn't real. It's not real. The only thing that you're seeing in the physical world is you.
Yeah.
The world is a mirror.
Yeah.
So when we're born with these life lessons to start with, Ruth. Okay.
Totally. Yes.
So this is like being born with one leg.
Yeah.
Like, well, I get along fine. I was born that way. Like, yeah, no, I know how to get around on one leg. And this is the way everybody lives life, because there's a huge chunk of your life missing that you can't even see. And what sits on the other side of that life lesson is your divinity.
Beautiful.
That's what's there on the other side of it. But when you don't realize that you have life lessons, and these blind spots are so dense, it's amazing. There's zillions of there's 38 different life lesson paths that a person can be on.
Wow.
But each one has millions of combinations. Okay. So all you need is the code for yours. And when you have the code and you understand it, you'll know that you're in a life lesson based on how you feel. You cannot get there with your mind. Okay. And let's go right to mindset. Okay.
Okay.
Mindset is rubbish. Absolute rubbish. And everybody uses that term. Why do I say that? Because your mind can only access the past. Your mind cannot come to the present moment. It is not possible to be in the present moment with your mind. It's not possible. Your mind is just going back to your past experiences. So if your mind is going back to your past, There's no future. The future is just your past thrown out in front of you. That's all it is.
Okay.
There is no future. And mindset is fixed. The universe is not fixed. The universe is in a constant state of organic expansion. So if you have mindset, you are in resistance to all the magic in life. You'll never get there. I hear people use this term and it makes me sick because it's, like when somebody says, well, I'm speaking my truth. It's like, no, you're not. You're giving me your opinion. That's all that is. You're just giving me your opinion, right? That's your opinion. It's not your truth, right? Because it's going to change tomorrow when you get more awareness. And you're going to find out what truth really is. And what truth is that we are human beings. We are not human doings.
Yeah.
When you're in the physical, when you're in your physical life, you're a human doing. When you're in your life purpose, you're a human being, and you're doing everything from a place of love for the benefit of all involved, regardless of the outcome, because the outcome doesn't matter. What matters is your ability to show up to it, whatever's happening, from a place of love for the benefit of all, no matter what it is. So you get out of reaction. In fact, if you pull the C out of reaction, drop it in the front, what do you have?
What do we have?
Creation.
Beautiful.
You just take the C out of reaction and put it on the front. Reactions are subconscious fears created from past experiences that aren't even real. At this point in time, they're so embellished and there's so many stories and all this input that isn't true. The only thing that's true in your life is how you feel. Everything else is an illusion.
I love it. And just listening to you, I feel so empowered. I feel so much magic in myself coming up. I have no doubt that working with you is absolutely amazing. I want to straight away work even more with you.
And what's happening to you right now, here's what's happening, is I'm providing you with an energetic reflection of who you truly are. That's what you're seeing. You're not seeing me, you're seeing you.
Beautiful.
Be with that.
Beautiful. I feel like every sentence you say should make a poster at the same time. I don't know. You should really make posters just of some of your sentences and sell them.
I just made a great one, and I just got this website.
Beautiful.
Right? It's intuition, artificial intelligence for the soul. Chat GPT for the soul, but it's not artificial.
Beautiful.
Chat PTG for the soul. Because when you're connected to your soul, you don't think about what you're going to say. You let your heart speak. And you don't care what people think. It doesn't matter. Because many, many people are terrified of the truth.
Yes.
And the reason they're terrified of the truth that I share is because they live in the physical, in something where everybody plays a game called right and wrong. And there's no such thing as right and wrong. There's no such thing. There's energy. That's it.
I feel the way we are living at the moment in the world, how it is at the moment, we are further and further going away from this being, from this creation, from who we probably truly meant to be and live and evolve. So yeah, what can we do? How can we go back to finding a better path to thrive instead of,
Well,
chasing and doing? And yeah, I don't know, it feels really so far away. I think for most people it's so controversial to what's happening or what we're doing. So what can we do as
it
an
seems so far
individual?
away. Well, the first thing you should do is recognize that your life purpose, here's the mistake everybody makes.
Mhm.
I do this, it's my life purpose, it's so great. That is not true. That's 1,000% false.
Mhm.
Whatever you're doing is not your purpose.
Mhm.
It's who you're being.
Mhm.
It's the energy behind every thought, word, and action. That is your life purpose. Like
Mhm.
right now, you're picking up on my energy
Mhm.
and you're getting that reflection of who you truly are. And
Mhm.
as we go along, you're going to see this energy build, right? So, because it's expansion. It's just massive expansion and it's just glorious. It's absolutely glorious.
Mhm.
But it has nothing to do with our physical life.
Mhm.
We live in two dimensions. We live in a non physical dimension and we live in a physical dimension. The physical dimension is your life in the physical on earth.
Mhm.
Okay. The non physical dimension is everything you can't see, touch, or feel. It's everything because the universe is in everything in the universe is a vibration. We are one, we are connected. Everybody's connected energetically. We're all, the whole universe is connected energetically. And when you understand, it's scientifically, it's proven
Yeah, I
that
know.
people go, oh, this metaphysics, you know. So what happens is your ego and your mind is what tells you about your reality in the physical.
Mm. I was just wondering, are we so attached to the physical world because the non-physical world is maybe so vast, so incredibly beautiful
Yeah.
and harder to understand or to grasp that we are scared of it, and it's so much easier to just focus on the physical world and explain everything in this way, and it keeps us small. And maybe this is in general just easier, I don't know, in a very weird way.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, there's so many reasons people are afraid to change.
Yeah,
Okay. But
yeah.
here's the truth of the matter. In fact, I was watching a show the other night about infinity, and the scientist was on and said something that was just, it's funny because it blew my mind. I'm like, oh my God, that's such a great explanation, right? This is something people can understand. Here's what he said. Before I tell you what he said, on Earth in physical form, the best we can get is lack of clarity,
Mhm.
work, and suffering. That's the best you can get in the physical.
Sounds pretty miserable.
It's true.
Mm. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
And I'll tell you why I brought that up in a second. So the scientist said, you know, infinity is really fascinating. He said, we have been able to go above Earth and we can see everything.
Mhm.
But in the universe, we're trying to look from the inside out. We can't get to the other side of the universe to see what it is.
Mm.
We don't know what it is.
Mm.
Now, think about that.
Mm.
Yet the universe is in a constant state of organic expansion.
Mm.
And When you have a goal and you're pushing, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this, you are in a severe state of limitation. When you have an intention,
completely relate to that. I can so relate to this. This feels so true so often. Yeah. Sorry for interrupting. Go on. Yeah.
But no, please interrupt me because I just keep going. But when you have an intention and you embody the energy of that which you are creating, the universe must deliver it to you. The universe has no choice. The universe doesn't use logic. All the universe does, and what you do, is you communicate with it with energy. It's just a vibration. There's no stories, there's no logic, there's nothing but a vibration. That's it. Now, look at the limitation on Earth. I'll give you a really simple example, okay? All expansion in my lifetime, okay, I'll be 75 this year. So I remember when televisions came out, okay?
Yeah.
I remember when the TV was invented, when I was a child. Now, you look at all expansion on Earth is going to the non-physical. Let me give you an example. Telephones.
Yeah, true.
They used to be on a string on the wall.
Yes, I remember that.
And then the Princess phone came out with those long, stretchy cords, and you could walk around the kitchen, and we just thought we were the cat's meow, right?
True, yeah.
Then they get right? Then they got portable.
Yeah.
And what did they do? There's no more cords. Wait, well, then how do we talk? Through a vibration. I dial a number, it sends a vibration, and I can speak to someone in Australia in seconds.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's using non-physical. Look at airplanes. We had cars. Total limitation. I actually am just across the country from California. I'm going to New England for the summer, and it's 3,000 miles. It was a long trip.
Yeah.
But I can get in a plane and I can be there in 5 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Because the plane is in the non-physical. Yet the planes have severe limitation because they have to land. They have to come back to limitation. And the airport can only hold so many planes. We are in a very severe state of limitation. Very, very severe. It's exciting. What's happening is beautiful. But when you step to the non-physical, there's no limitation. Zero. The only thing that limits you in the non-physical is you.
Beautiful.
There's only one thing that I found that's wrong with the universe, and I'm certain of it. There's just one thing wrong with it. That's your perception of it.
That is so true. That is so true. And it can be so hard to see it yourself and to change perception. And this is why I'm such a huge fan of finding someone who can walk us through, knows what they are doing, and help us expand, because like you said before, it goes so much faster than most of the time, so much faster than when we do it ourselves. I could speak with you forever. I love this. Like I said before, I want to work straight away with you, but this is not only about me, this is also about my audience. So where can my audience find you?
My website is truelifepurposenow.com. If anyone wants to do a 20-minute clarity session with me, they go to speaktobill.com.
Wow.
Speaktobill.com. And you can do a 20-minute clarity session via Zoom with me. And you fill out an application. I have to make certain I have you can't bullshit me. Okay. So when people come in and say that, whatever, I read energy,
Right.
and I have to make certain that a person's energy is in a place where they can retain what I'm going to teach them. If not, I just give them an assignment and send them down the street because, it's like one woman said to me, well, I wouldn't even meet with her. She'd fill out an application and I would meet with her. And she said, well, you're not very good at sales. If you had gotten me in that meeting, you could have sold me on joining your super conscious mastermind. And I sat on that for 3 days. I finally went, oh, I've got to answer that email. And I answered it. And I said, Erica, you're so misaligned. Number one, I don't sell anything.
Yeah, it's
I
not
don't
about
need
sales.
to.
Yeah.
I speak the truth, and there's people who are attracted to this energy that truly want to change their life, and they come to me and I show them how to change it like that. In fact, in my coaching, I'll tell you a couple of interesting things about my coaching business.
Yes, please.
One, no contracts.
Yeah.
Two, 90-day minimum. That's it.
Right.
Three, I have 5 private clients right now who have all been with me for more than 5 years.
Yeah, I have no doubt. Yeah.
5 years, we meet every week. There's no contract.
Yeah.
Right? You see, that's all limitation. It's like, no, you sign a contract, it's for a year. I need to survive. I need my income. No. 90 days. And my objective really is to get rid of people as fast as possible. And the reason I want to do that is I want them to get it and go live their life.
Yeah. I can so relate to all of what you said. It's not about sales. It's about expansion. It's not about surviving. It's about thriving. It's about upping someone's total glow and helping them to really live their best lives. And I know this phrase is a little bit outlived, probably everyone uses it, but I guess you can feel from the energy what I really mean with that. So I'm a huge fan of your work. I think you are absolutely amazing. I'm so glad that you felt so miserable. Please excuse me saying this, but that you felt so miserable that you had to walk out of this door and change completely, because what you are doing is amazing. And I truly believe that you are helping to make our world even a happier, healthier place. And just by lifting so many others up, I feel the more people are in the same consciousness, in the same expansive state, in the same expansiveness, the better for everything. I don't know, for the universe. I'm probably not finding the right words, but
no,
this
you're
is
doing
how
great.
I feel right
You're
now.
speaking from your heart.
Yes.
You can't speak.
Exactly. I'm speaking from
can't
my heart and with all the layers that I've got on. I would love for you to share with my audience, just to finish off, 3 golden nuggets that are fairly short. I mean, you've bombarded us with wisdom and beautiful
I
golden
haven't even
nuggets.
started.
I can imagine. And I've absolutely loved it. And I totally want to have you back. And I will get in touch with you privately for sure, all of this. But just so that they can have something in mind which, I don't know, they can hold close to their hearts, and that will just, whenever they needed help, this expansion, or help them to come back to their intention, not to the goals, to this vastness of who we are, who they can be. Yeah.
The first message I have for the audience is this: is you are perfect just the way you are. You're in the perfect place. You're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Mm.
It's perfect. You have abandoned yourself by not using our greatest asset, which is free will and choice.
Mm.
And the reason you're not using it is because you don't have a blueprint.
Mm.
If you work with me, I give you a blueprint. And when people get that blueprint, the first thing that happens, this is really amazing. The first thing that happens is they grab a hold of it and they can finally be authentically responsible, not be accountable. Accountability energetically only creates victims.
Mm.
Responsibility creates power.
Mm. Beautiful. I love that.
The number one thing that you want to watch for if you really want to live your life purpose is never be defensive again. Never defend anything. People live in protection of their stories. We're here to write a new story, and you can only write that in this moment. That's it. If you're writing it more than this moment, you're using your mind and you're just repeating the past. When you show up with your heart, like right here with you, I have no idea what's going to happen, and it doesn't really matter because I'm just here to share from a place of love. Everything else takes care of itself. It's so simple. So when you're defensive, you're in fear.
So
And the only way you can be in fear is by being focused in your physical life. Your heart cannot create fear. Let me repeat that. It is impossible for your heart to create fear. People say, wait, I had a lot of fear yesterday in my heart. Yes, because you created it with your head. You felt the fear. It wasn't created by your heart. Your heart will feel it, but it can't create it. The other thing is this. Fear knocked on the door and love answered, but no one was there. Fear and love cannot coexist. They can't coexist. It's impossible.
how empowering. Beautiful. So many answers. Amazing.
Yes. From universal wisdom, not from me.
But
I didn't make any of this up. This is
you
all
are sounding it out, which is very helpful.
I am here to be the voice of it, and that's it. None of this is mine. This is everyone's.
Love that voice. Great. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been such a pleasure to connect with you.
Are we still gonna hear 2 more amazing golden nuggets?
Well, I just gave you about 4, but I can keep going.
That's true. That's true. It was and I just felt this wisdom so deeply inside of me, and it's so true. Everything you said, I can really relate to myself. Yeah, absolutely. I can relate. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I don't know where my book is. It's around here somewhere.
Oh, yes. I wanted to ask about this. If you have a book.
Yeah, my book is called, I have 3 books. Yeah.
3?
Yeah. The 7 Levels of Truth.
Yeah.
A Direct Path to Your Life Purpose is available on Amazon. That's everything I teach my clients in my coaching.
Great.
It's everything.
Great.
It's in that book. It's called The 7 Levels of Truth, A Direct Path to Your Life Purpose. I've written another book. It's called Clarity Has No Story.
Beautiful.
A Shaman's Guide to Mastering the Law of Attraction. Your audience can have that book free by going to myfreebook.me.
Wow.
My free book.
Amazing.
Should be easy to remember because it's all about me. So
Amazing. And I will put all of this in the show notes. And I know that I will definitely make sure I get my hands on all of these books, because I just can't get enough of you and just what you share, because it feels so true to me. It feels like so many amazing, important reminders that will help me to go back on track. That's a very harsh word for what it is, because I mean that in
It'll
a
just no, you're on track. Okay. Stop
but
judging
I
yourself.
need exactly, stop judging yourself. So I need those reminders. I feel like I'm doing this tango between the physical world, and then I get a glimpse of, ooh, this is me, this is,
Mm.
and then I'm back in the physical. So yeah, I'm loving this. This is
Oh,
absolutely
I
beautiful.
have one more nugget for your audience. Okay.
Thank you.
This is a good one. Okay. Never, ever make another decision.
Okay. Mm.
Never make another decision. Decisions, the word decision, the root of that is from the Latin word that means final. So
Mm.
when you make a decision, there's always stress and overwhelm and finality with it.
Mm.
All you have to do is make a choice.
Mm.
Now you're exercising your power. And if you
Beautiful.
make a choice and a few hours later, you don't think it feels that good, you can make a new choice.
I love that. I love that. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. This has been so enriching for me personally. I know it has been enriching for my audience. Like I said,
Wonderful.
I would love to have you back. Can't wait to get my hands onto your books. This has been
I'd love
such
to come back.
an honor and such a pleasure. Thank you so much for shining your light, for being this amazing voice of the universe and helping us to more and more thrive instead of just surviving.
It's transformation.
I have to say it how
Transformation.
I feel it. I totally love you. Love your work for it. Thank you
I love you too.
so much, Bill. Is there anything that I
Thank you.
forgot to say that you
No,
still feel is
no,
important to mention? Okay,
no.
great,
It's perfect.
great,
You didn't forget a thing.
beautiful.
Everything was guided perfectly.
Love it. Okay, let's
That's the way the
end it.
universe works.
I love it. Let's end it in this beautiful perfectness, which is probably not even a word, but I just made it up because we are expanding.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. I hope you loved and enjoyed this interview as much as I did. If you did, then please do me a favor and help me spread health, glow, and happiness everywhere. And you can do so by liking, subscribing to, reviewing, or sharing my podcast, because only in this way others can find the content in this podcast too. I know that you were born to glow. I know that you are born to feel absolutely wonderful in your amazing body, in your brilliant mind, and in your boundless soul. So what are you still waiting for? Please make sure you do. I am your biggest cheerleader. Keep glowing.